And obviously they're choreographed dancers, they're professionals. They're not going to change the choreography slightly during the performance to fit you. They're going to keep doing what they're meant to be doing. Oh, I clicked my toe. But like, yeah, and she had the monocle. The look, although it didn't look great, it was pretty accurate to what the actual look was. I think it's just, I didn't like the cut of the pants on Britta. But I think that's because again, I make sure that's how the pants were cut. But I just, and I'll get to it again later. Some things look good on some people and not on others. And I didn't think the pants looked great on Britta. So Britta finished, and I was like, oh, you might be fine this week. Because at this point, I didn't realise how strong the whole cast would be. I was going, oh, Jesus, the ones at the end must be terrible. And then we had Jada. I'm going to say it now. Should have been top 3. Honestly, if Jada had won, I would have been, like, fine with that. Again, but Jada's verse wasn't written for her to win. I think it's hard to win with this. Because there is a bit of comedy, but it's all sex. But she delivered it perfectly. Body on point. Wig was on point. The vocals were great. She really nailed it. I'm glad Michelle taught her well. And it was, like, really sexual. Like, there was humping and groping, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it's true to Madonna. I kind of appreciate that. She pulled the sort of paddle whip thing out of the trousers. I don't know how this it must have been bendy. If it was rigid, it would have been very hard to stick in that man's trousers. And then she finished, and I was like, this is when I realised, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is one of the strongest challenges we've had in a while. Wow. See, isn't it good when a season doesn't bring back someone from the previous season for no real reason other than you wanting to push them to the end so they could be the first big girl winner, or because they have a catchphrase that kind of caught on and then became annoying very quickly. Shade. Enlightened Madonna by Crystal Method. So again, singing wasn't great, but she put her all into it, and the knee, that was so funny, and the fact that she thought of that, and it wasn't in, like, the thing to lip sync the echoes, that was really good. And hers took a while to get going as well, because that first 4 lines were real slow. And then when she was doing the loads of hair waving, and that was just going, that was really good. And they even edited it, so it was like fading between cuts really quickly. It was funny. Like, I'm still not sure if she deserved top 3, in my opinion, but, like, she still did really good, so it wasn't insulting, and I'm glad she did get a top 3 placement, because, like, I feel like she's not been doing great this season. Like, she's been doing sort of middly lower half, so I'm glad that she's finally had an episode where she's like, I'm great. I mean, she should already know she's great, she's amazing, but I felt like her verse felt really short. I don't know if it was. I think they were all a minute, roughly, like a minute 10. But, like, Jan's, some of them felt really long. Jan's felt really long, and whatever. Anyway, moving on. So then we have, I don't know what her, like, name was, but I'm going to call her Fempire, I don't know. So it's fully the outfit from Music. Kind of a shame that they couldn't actually use that song for this one. Britta did very well. The choreography was good. I think my only issue is when she was, like, on her own in that segment before she did her, like, cartwheel. Which also I think it was a one-handed cartwheel. I don't know if it was, but it looked like it was. That was just sort of Widow's moves. It didn't feel very Madonna. In rehearsal, they had the thing of she couldn't get on her knee because of the cut. It was like a gash. And then Britta was like, that should have healed by now. And I was like, it's a gash in her knee. So, like, no. And also, she's a dancer. Like, she's not going to be the one making excuses for choreography. But even then, she still did very well. The outfit fit her perfectly. Also, for once, I liked that white shoe she had on. I loved that shoe. Wear more of those. And she even danced in it. So, like, I don't know why she insists on wearing these ugly dance shoes for most of her outfits, but, you know, she did that. Now, Heidi, in my opinion, was probably the worst. Yeah, was the worst with Jackie. Jackie and her were the worst. Heidi was the worst for different reasons than Jackie. Heidi nailed the choreography. Her lyrics were pretty good, although I don't think her verse was actually well written. But she didn't embody Madonna at all. And also, I felt like some of her choreography was really manly. And I think that was meant to be the joke of she's trying to be young, but she's like doing these like weird dance moves. But they just came, I don't know, some of them were a bit odd. And and also you could tell, even if you'd ignoring how you feel about her performance, like the judges weren't laughing at hers, and I was like, okay, so she's not going to be high this challenge. All right, I've accepted it. Yeah, so that was a bit of a shame. And also I think an issue is there was that bit where she did choreography. She did the sort of break dancing, and then she did the bit where she stands on her head, and then when she got up, and I was like, you've done this exact same sequence of dance moves in even the same order in the first challenge. So I don't you've shot yourself in the foot, because I've seen these exact same dance moves from you in the exact same order. So I'm not impressed by them now, and that's just how it is. And I'm sure she has other dance moves, but it is what it is. So the runway. For once, I won't be doing this in alphabetical order. I'll actually be doing it in the order of the challenge. So Jan came out in her Glamazonian Airways, which is actually one of the outfits I would have done. I was thinking, what would I have done? I was like, Glamazonian Airways, definitely up there. I had one issue. The cardigan did not fit perfectly. Okay, I gotta say it didn't fit perfectly. It was a little bit too loose. But apart from that, it was really nice. And also I think that, okay, again, nitpicky, but I don't think that the material was quite right. It seemed a bit thicker than Michelle's cardigan. I'm sorry. That's what it was. But it still was still a great look. It was still a great look. I love the reference. She had the luggage, which was an extra touch which she didn't have to add. Yeah, it was a smart choice, a good outfit. Wasn't my favourite makeup job from Jan. Still wasn't bad. And maybe it's also because they have already had to be in makeup for so long at this point. Obviously, they had to be in makeup for the Madonna challenge as well. But it just seemed a little bit less finessed. It seemed a little bit less perfect. It seemed a bit rougher. Again, still looked good, but I just noticed I thought her makeup didn't look as good this week. And then we had Jackie Cox, who did a smart thing, and I'll get to this again later. Because she chose a reasonably complicated outfit, it's not very clean. It was very old Michelle. That's basically Michelle Visage from All Stars 1 is literally just wear a load of pieces that are quite tacky and a bit clashy and really dramatic. And once you choose one of those outfits, it's a lot less focused on how accurate you can be, because there's a lot less pressure. You've got loads of different pieces. You've got a corset and a thing going over the corset, and a bolero, and you've got big black hair, and you've got all the accessories. So there's a lot more room to make tiny little errors, and Jada also did that, so we'll get to that in a minute. The hair wasn't the perfect shape, but she had the ring. It was the wrong colour, but it was the ring. I think what really got it was the nails. She nailed the nails. I'm so funny. Because I wouldn't have even thought of getting the right nails for that. And it was kind of a classic Michelle look. It's one I remember. And you know what the funniest fucking thing is? How is this Jackie's least costumey outfit she's worn on the runway? How? She's deliberately trying to be tacky, and for once it doesn't look like she bought it out of Party City. This is ridiculous. Then we had a Gigi Good. Now, first of all, the head of the artist's rendering was fucking hilarious. I'm not sure if they couldn't get the rights to the picture from that music video. I guess not. I guess they couldn't get the rights to the picture. But I don't know why, because I guess obviously Michelle Visage doesn't necessarily have a connection with the people who own the rights to that picture, but apparently it was very accurate. I did see a screen grab someone posted of the outfit, but it was only the top of it, and it wasn't a bit blurry, and you couldn't really see the detail of the top anyway. So maybe there isn't a photo of it that actually exists that's good quality, but it was a bit simple. It's a bit simple. I mean, it was actually a different silhouette. It was not a poofy short dress with a deep V and or long sleeves. But it was a very nice swimsuit. I mean, the top had these kind of pleats. The bottom was very asymmetrical. It had this sort of drapery. I think was she the only one who went for blonde Michelle? I think she was. And that was smart, made her stand out. Also, she looks great in blonde. I don't think she's worn a lot of blonde hair on the runway so far. I mean, she has so many different wig colours, it's actually kind of ridiculous. But, yeah, she hasn't she hasn't worn blonde in the runway, I don't think. She looks really good in blonde. But what got it is she had the really long nails. I have to say, there is definitely the favouritism of Gigi Goode, and I'm sure that when all this finishes, Aki Lee will do a video called The Favouritism of Gigi Goode, or the Slight Favouritism of Gigi Goode, something like that. Because on a normal runway, wearing a bikini top, wearing a bikini would get you red to filth. I mean, yes, it was a lovely bikini, it was an accurate bikini, we think. The hair was flawless, the makeup was flawless, the body was right, you know, the nails were hilarious. But there was, as far as we saw, there was absolutely no chastisation of this choice from Gigi. And it's just... thing is, it's always going to happen. They always push someone to the end. Sometimes that person doesn't even usually win. Like, they were pushing both Eureka and Aquaria to an extent to the end. But they were really pushing Eureka. But they kind of fucked up because Eureka lip synced twice, and when you lip sync twice, you can't win. I think Gigi is getting... Thing is, this isn't meant to come for Aquaria, although she does have me blocked on Twitter, so I probably said something really mean to her. I'm sorry I said something mean. I've changed. But now I'm going to say something else mean. Aquaria didn't offer much outside of looks. I mean, the 2 challenges she won were both look-based. Oh no, she also won Snatch Game. To be fair, she won Snatch Game. But, like, that was the only non-look challenge that comes to mind that she really did well in. I mean, she did well in... She kind of did well in the Breast World Challenge, but that was a fucking stupid challenge anyway. But overall didn't excel. Like, she was in the bottom and saved quite a lot. And when I say bottom, I mean bottom 3. But Gigi, I think the reason I don't mind as much her being pushed to the end and being being favoured is because, like, even then, she still is slaying all categories. She can make clothes. She has a great fashion sense. She has an unlimited amount of wigs. She can sing okay. She can act. She can do improv. She can actually, to be honest, even though she's not a dancer, she can do choreography. She can write lyrics. You know, where do her talents end? You know, and even although we've only seen her lip sync once, she was actually very good in that lip sync. So okay, so that's my little rant about Gigi. So I'll try and move on as quickly as possible. This is getting very long, but there's a lot to talk about in this episode. It's not my fault. It's a jam-packed episode. It's a great episode, but it's jam-packed. So, we move on to Britta. Here's the thing. I liked the dress on Michelle. Didn't love the dress on Britta, but I appreciated that it was like a pitch-perfect recreation. However, here's the thing. Although them picking on her earrings was pedantic, because she picked a very simple dress, the only thing they could judge was the glasses, the wig, and the earrings. So there's a lot more pressure to get it spot on. It's like Lady Gaga gave Peppermint that critique in Untucked. You know, putting your own spin on an outfit is great. However, when you've gone to the effort of making so much of the outfit pristine and absolutely perfect to the original costume, why then go, I'm going to chuck these earrings on? You know, it doesn't make sense when you've gone to so much effort in every other aspect of the costume to make it exact and perfecto. I don't know if that's even a word. I don't know what accent I was doing there. So I got that critique. But yeah, it was good because it was pitch perfect. And she was like the only one that wore like proper full glamour Michelle. And then we had Jada, who did another All Stars outfit, which was also perfect. She had the tattoo under her breasts. She looked great. Again, because it's a bit cluttered, it's not as much pressure to get all the pieces right. Honestly, Jada probably should have been top 3. Probably should have been. And even Jada has kind of, like, yes, she was in the top in the ball challenge, but she's kind of been slept on since her win. So who's next on the runway? Crystal. I liked this outfit. I've actually seen this outfit before. It was really good. It was, you know, red on red on red on red. Always the key of a monochromatic look. Have ever so slightly different shades of the exact same colour with different textures, etc. So it's still an interesting look because it was great. Her hair was lovely. Loved it. Then we had Widow, who did who also did the RuPaul show. Now, I find it hilarious that she's wearing a red, white, and blue USA outfit and then had to wear a red, white, and blue outfit for the promo. And it's a shame because I much, much, much prefer this outfit to the one she wore in the promo. The promo one was like, wasn't it inverted? Wasn't it red trousers, a blue top? I think so. And it was like sequined and a bit more loose, and there was white harness on top, and then she had her wig from the spring runway. You know, I'm really sad because I think if she'd been wearing this runway in the promo, I'd have been like, oh, she means business. And I liked the wig. The wig was gorgeous. She had ugly shoes on, which plague her existence. But you know, it was a good look. I just found it funny that for some reason both of the people who did RuPaul show Michelle came one after the other. And then we had Heidi, who for some reason went for Towie Michelle. Now, I appreciate it because I'm probably one of the few people watching it who actually understood what Towie was. I mean, bless Bussy, if you watch Bussy on YouTube, she does Hot or Rot, and she was like, I think this is a picture from Michelle on like some Hollywood lot or something, and I'm like, no, it's definitely not a Hollywood lot, it's Towie, it's the furthest you can get from Hollywood. Oh, I didn't even know Michelle was on Towie. I hope she was only in it for like a week or two. She probably was. The problem was, she had a cape. I guess she got the cape right. But the dress was very... Yeah, I mean, the dress wasn't even that accurate. It was the right colour and had a similar pattern, but it wasn't the same. And then I didn't like the loaf because I hate loafs. Don't give me Eureka Flash. Don't give me Eureka flashbacks. Don't do it. Please don't do it. But it was hilarious that there was nothing inside it and she just bonked it. It went down. I think it was a really, really weird pick. And I honestly wonder if maybe she saw... I think one of the reasons Heidi picked this is also the dress was probably quite easy to find, and the cape probably wasn't too hard to find either. I think that's why she picked it. So we got to the critiques. I remember AOC was very emotional with Jackie, and it was very appropriate for the time, especially when they put registers to vote at the end of every episode that I do enjoy, and it is a great message to put out. The actual placements, like Crystal in the top 3, like I said, it was, it wasn't undeserved, but I think Jada was more deserving of that spot. But we love Crystal, we stand Crystal, so we don't care. And then Jan was declared safe. And what's that? It's not that Simpson meme. It's like, you can just freeze it at the it's like, you can pause it at the exact moment his heart breaks, or something like that. I'll find it if I can.
Watch this, Lise. You can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half. And now.
And it's just so funny because she just goes, and when she's at the back of the stage, she's like, oh, it's worse. It's like, because of the way she painted her lips, they're like ever so slightly pointing downwards. And I saw this hilarious video on Twitter that was, the chances of Jan killing you are low, but never zero. And it cuts to that face she pulls. And then the bottom 2 is Britta and Heidi. Now, I think I could have been content with Jackie and Heidi. I also knew they weren't going to put Jackie in the bottom. I was like, Britta's been in the bottom 2 twice and a bottom 3 another occasion. Like, you're just going to send her home. And she was actually alright this episode. She was pretty bearable because she no longer had Adrian to project all her hatred onto. And it also just made the whole Aiden versus Britta thing feel rather flat because it ended this way with them both going home one after the other. Especially as neither of them really got a storyline other than their feud. I don't remember hearing anything really personal about Aiden or hearing anything really personal about Britta. Although Britta did mention New York a load this episode, and I was like, oh my god, please go away. So the Untucked was rather uneventful. There was just... Okay, so it was actually better. For once, it was better before everyone came back. So it was the 3 safe girls. And for once, they included an Allison confessional, because they had to, otherwise they would have lost the storyline. So Sherry just keeps on poking that bear. Widow's not having it. And I was on Widow's side, and then Jada eventually joined in and was like, no. Okay? Stop. Quit while you're ahead. Stop Stop while you're ahead. You ain't seen nothing yet. That's the Kim Woodburn impression for those who haven't watched Celebrity Big Brother UK. The specifics don't really matter, but Willow basically was reinforcing, like, you shouldn't have kicked us while you were down. Alison gave, like, a bit of a half-assed apology, and then was just like, but are you saying that you wanted us to fail and you're happy? And Willow was basically like, well, I'm going to leave you alone. I'm not going to prod the bear because I'm a better person than that. I'm not going to kick Jackie or you while... I'm not going to kick any of the bottom three while they're down. I think specifically Jackie. But she was kind of being like, but I could. I'm well within my rights to, but I'm not going to. And then Sherry, and they didn't really acknowledge this. This was total shade. Sherry was then like, so how do you feel to be safe during a dancing challenge? And I was like, so you're shady because you've just had this conversation. You're directly after now trying to prod her and be like, how do you feel that you've just been safe in this challenge that you built up about how you were going to be in the top? Okay, all right. We see you, Miss Pine. Well, actually, no, we don't. And then they come back, and a lot of this is just what ASC comes back, and obviously that's a big... I'm not ready to talk about that, though, because that's just, like, self-explanatory. I don't really need to. And the only other bit we see is really just Heidi feeling defeated. She's just, like... She can't listen to anyone else bigging her up, because that's just how it works when you're in that space. You're not going to listen to someone going, you're great. You're going to be like, well, why am I in the bottom two then? Bitch. And Gigi says in confessional, like, I think I need to, sort of sort things out and make up what I've done. And then she does be like, you look gorgeous today, your makeup has improved, which her makeup has improved. But I am expecting next episode for Heidi and Gigi to reconcile. So yeah, that was it. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, hit the bell. That's about it from me. I've got a sore butt, so good.